Nothing like users trying to gaslight you, by Userion Thief. This is my first post back on here in a while, and boy it's a doozy. This story is from yesterday and I think this might have been one of the more frustrating calls I've been on with a user in some time. The day started out like normal, just a relaxed day working from home with a steady amount of calls rolling in. Then shortly after I return from lunch I get another call. Unfortunately for me this call is not going to be an easy one. Me, thank you for calling the help desk. My name is Ian Thief, can I have your name please? User, yes, hello my name is User and I'm having some difficulties with my scanner, printer, fax device, it won't scan. Me, alright I can definitely help with that. Did you just receive this device? User, yes I did, but I was able to scan to it a couple of weeks ago. Me, so you didn't just receive the device, did you call the help desk to have us set it up for you? User, no I just plugged it in and it worked. I guess they had the drivers installed when they set up my computer. Now here is a great time to break away and explain something about the workflow that we use for setting up new hire computers. We don't install any drivers for printers or scanners we send out. This is simply because those devices are usually ordered for the manager after the fact, so they get set up as they come. Of course I try to explain this to the user to no avail. Me, we don't install drivers for those devices ahead of time because not everyone uses them, they usually get installed after you receive the printer/scanner. User, well they did that as my last company so I just assumed that's what they did here. Me, okay, well most companies tend to have different standards of operation. Anyway, let me remote into your computer really fast and get the drivers installed and the device set up. I remote in and the entire time she keeps wrestling me for the controls, and repeating the make and model of the device, while trying to type it in a Chrome window on a second monitor. Remember this fact because it's important for later. Her constant wrestling for the controls though had me fed up, so I locked her controls from the software I'm using. User, excuse me, I can't seem to type in Chrome anymore. Me, yes ma'am, I locked the controls because I'm trying to work on your computer and I can't do that while you're using it. User, yes you can, they've done it before. Me, not here at this help desk ma'am, because the software we use, and most remote control software, can't have two people working on the device at the same time. User, yes they can, they've done it before. Me, ma'am, at least here that isn't the case. I then proceed to work the issue some more, downloading the driver install program from the manufacturer's site and getting it installed. During this time however she asked me why she wasn't able to type in the open Google Chrome window or move her mouse 3 more times. I ignored her after she asked a second time. While waiting for the program to load I look at previous tickets to see if she did in fact call the help desk for the scanner issue. I did find one for a scanner issue but not this one. It turns out that she did have the help desk set up a scanner for her in office, not the scanner currently in front of her. I decided not to question that. But I did see something in the internal notes of that ticket that are only visible to us, and it read: User would often interrupt, not follow instructions, and leap to their own conclusions for what I am trying to tell her. Little did I know how bad this would get. As we're going through the setup she begins to bring up the Brother app on her phone, and how she can see the device on there. After a few attempts of trying to get the device to read on her computer and she brings up the phone app again, I start to get annoyed. Me, ma'am, we're not looking at the phone app for this, we don't actually support the phone app. If you would like to set that up you can, but we have no support for it. User, why are you talking about my phone? I'm talking about the Brother app. Me, the Brother app on your phone? User, yes, the Brother mobile app. What does my phone have to do with this? Me, ma'am, I only brought it up because you were mentioning the mobile app. User, I don't see what that has to do with my phone though. I mute myself and sit with my head in my hands for a few minutes. Thankfully in that time the laptop recognizes the printer and I was able to get it installed and set up for the user. We did a test print and scan and it was successful. As I go through my wrap-up script and ask is there anything else I can assist with, she unfortunately says yes. I ask how else I can assist her and she proceeds to say that she can't open Google Chrome now. Mind you, I see the same Chrome window that she was typing in earlier in this call still open on her second monitor. I inform her of this fact and she tells me that she wasn't typing in Chrome, to which I dragged the browser over with a site that she went to before I locked the controls. User, where did that window come from? Me, from your second monitor. User, I don't have a second monitor. Me. I checked the display settings and showed her that she did have a second monitor. She then was quiet for a moment before saying she didn't have any other issues. Before I dropped the call, she then asked if there was a way to reach out to me directly in case this issue happened again, preferably via Teams. I informed her that we do not monitor Teams chats for help desk related issues, and that if you have any issues to either put in a help desk ticket or call the help desk directly. She pushed the matter again and I gave the same response. She disconnected the call after this, but not before throwing out one last "well, they did it at the last company I worked for. Why don't people listen?" by user List 1. I've been in systems roughly 10 years at this point. If I miss one syllable, someone says, "I'm an evil bastard." There is no winning. Someone sends a 13-thread email chain and wants me to piece together what they need. Now I can try and piece it together and miss something and they get mad. Or I can flat out say, "Could you please summarize what it is you need from me?" I feel if I try to piece it together I will miss key information. Now both approaches are going to get someone mad at me, but I'd rather they be mad at me and I have all of the information. Meanwhile, no one listens to me. I was in a meeting Friday and said, I have addressed both the functionality and config item. And this woman spoke after me, "See, West is only talking about the config item, we need to address both." This was a recent interaction with an exec. A C-level executive asked me to send credentials for a new hire. I sent them in an encrypted internal email. She replies, verbatim, "I did not receive the email." This was odd. She was receiving all my other messages and this is an internal email. Still, I gave her the benefit of the doubt and sent it again. Her reply, "I did not receive the email." I ran a trace. It showed as delivered. I followed up, it shows delivered. Please check your junk or deleted items. Her response, "I did not receive the email." So I checked her mailbox from my end. Sure enough, the emails were sitting in her deleted items. I let her know. Again, she said, "I did not receive the email." At this point, I called her. She shared her screen, opened her deleted items, and there they were. I asked her to open one. She said, "But they're blank." I explained, encrypted emails don't display in the reading pane. You have to double-click to view them. I also politely pointed out the text in the reading pane that explained this. Here's the wild part, she was getting the emails, was deleting them, and never once said, "They're coming in blank." She insisted she wasn't receiving them at all even after being told they were in her deleted folder. Not once did she mention, "Oh, I deleted them." I don't know where your file is, by user Fuligen_cosplay. I wanted to post this short story from this morning because it has completely set the tone for the rest of my day and speaks to my biggest gripe with working help desk, the expectation that I am a miracle worker. There's a lady in my office who, despite being very kind and I otherwise have no problems interacting with, drives me crazy with her tech problems, of which there are many. She tends to fiddle with things, break them, and then come to me wondering why they are broken. This morning, she calls my phone asking for help, telling me that she has a Word file that she regularly updates, but that her most recent changes from a couple of days ago are not there, and the file says it was last saved a few days before that. She wanted to know if there was anything I could do to restore the updated file, and I was trying to run through my options in my head. I figured the file server backup might work but wasn't sure since this was more likely just a case of her not saving her work. Then she mentions that she's pretty sure she saved the updated version as a separate file somewhere but isn't sure where that was. Now my brain's going off in a different direction, and all I could say was, "I'll need to do some digging, I can't think of anything I can do for you off the top of my head." I also told her that if she just saved it somewhere, there's really nothing I can do to find it other than searching for it in File Explorer, which I recommended she do in the meantime. Apparently, she didn't like that because she got frustrated and said she would just redo all that work from the past few days if I'm not going to help her and hangs up. I just don't know what I possibly could have done for her in that moment there. If the file wasn't saved, I can't pull it out of the ether, and if it was saved somewhere unknown, then running a general search was going to be her best bet anyways. This just seems to be a running theme. If I can't offer a solution then and there, I must have no idea what I'm doing and I'm impeding on their ability to do their job. I'm hoping to be out of help desk within the next couple of years. Edit, forgot to mention, but she had already checked recent documents and it wasn't there. It's more likely than anything that she just didn't save the file. Can you help me with my computer? By user beautiful_diet_3473. I'm currently living in a group home. Most people are not computer literate, they spell computer with a K. I frequently sit in the common area and am on a computer. So, People with cell phone or computer issues have been coming to me and I've always helped out. There is this one gentleman for over a month, on and off, kept asking me to help him with his computer. I kept to bring me the computer. So, one day he actually does so, puts the computer down and tells me the battery is dead. I say to okay, where is the power cord? He doesn't have one. I tell him I can't do anything without power to the computer. Sadly enough, he really did believe I could help him with his computer even though it had no power. As I have said when verbally telling people about this, my computer skills are good but not that good, lol. I was only trying to help, by user Mega Steve. So this is an oldie that floated into my brain. I apologize for grammar, spelling, and probably wasting your time. So back in the mid-aughts, I did tech support for DSL internet. I truly enjoyed fixing people's problems, even the stupid ones. One day, I get a call from a woman who meant to call billing but got tech support instead. She had been told a week ago that there was an outage, and she was trying to get a credit for the lack of service. I took a quick look and saw the outage had been resolved a few hours after she called in. I advised her that the outage was over and it was likely a quick fix. She pushed back, insisting that it was the lines down or something. I told her gently that all I needed to do is make a quick call to the big DSL hub in Atlanta and that would probably have backup right away. She screams into the phone billing. I politely apologize to her and get her transferred over. My manager had been listening in and pulled me aside after. He advised that while I was right, I was wrong and just do what the customer wants next time. I don't know if her service ever got fixed or if she got in a stupid loop of paying her bill and calling in to get credited.